I've been doing this for about 20 years, and this is something that I'm passionate about. It's fun to do. So basically, I'm going to show you how to make some cool photography. And I'm specifically going to talk about HDR photography. So I'm going to walk you step by step on how I made this photo. The background was actually shot separately from the model, and then I put them together. I'm going to show you how to do that. This was at the Polish Festival last year. So what is HDR photography? Basically what that means is you take multiple exposures from dark to light, and then you basically merge them together, and you get these gorgeous colors. You can see all these details in the shadows. So you can't really see any of these details here, but if you take these elements from here and put them together, what you get is these really brilliant colors. So the next slide is going to show you everything together. So this is what you start with. This is the background. And you take, so some of these exposures take like 30 seconds long at night. So you can see the people are kind of blurry. That's why you have to shoot the background separately from the model, because there's no way you can get a model to stay still. So what you do is you shoot them over and over and over again. So I made her bite this apple 100 times. And by the end, her jaw was pretty sore. So this is the lighting setup that I did in my studio. You have two lights at a 45-degree angle, kind of lighting her hand and her back and her hair. And then you have another light from the front. So what I did was I made it so it mimicked the lighting sources in the background. So this is chopped out and thrown on top of that. So that's what it looks like, rough. And then what you do after that is you kind of delete all of the black background, and then you have this, okay? So now she kind of looks like she's actually standing there. You get the light from that right over here, and you have the light from over here, lighting the left and right sides of her. So next up, what you're going to do is actually kind of paint some of this color onto her face. And what you do is you use something called a clone tool, and you could actually paint these lights onto the reflection of the apple to make it look like she's actually standing there and it's reflecting into the apple. So this is what the finished product looks like. And then I looked at the sky. You can't really see it, it's black, so I figured I'd bling it up a little bit. And so when you work with digital photography, you can easily do stuff like steal stuff from the internet. So I got this nice little starry night, and I just copy, paste, and put it in there. It looks great. And that wasn't enough, so I was like, yeah, maybe some fireworks there. So I stole that, and I just had to extend this so it looked like it was shooting up much higher, and I just threw that in the background. So what I did was a similar technique of where I did the yellow light on her face. So what I did was, actually using the airbrush tool, I painted in individual pieces of hair and the colors of the fireworks. So it looks like it's actually lighting her from the back. And so when you look and see how the light would behave, and you put those things together, it makes it look like she's actually there. So this is the finished product. This took me maybe about 2 hours to actually Photoshop. And actually taking the pictures only took maybe about an hour. This is another picture I did from the same setup. There's the zipper back there, and I really like the drips. Actually, the hardest part of this whole thing was making this candy apple myself. It was a nightmare. I forgot to add the sugar and boil it. So this is, if you don't have all these expensive lights, you can actually use a single light source. So I took this on 4th Street, down the ghetto. It doesn't look too great, but when you put them all together, you get these. And I didn't add any colors. I didn't paint blues on there. Those are all the natural colors that I saw. So this is what it looks like with HDR with both of them together. And then I painted like her individual strands of hair. This is a similar thing that I did. This was out in the Brandywine Valley.
Nice.
This was with a 3-light setup where you have a lighting from the back, like the first picture that I showed. And then that's what it looks like. This is a picture of my niece. I actually shot this with all my equipment out in the Brandywine Valley right before a thunderstorm. And she actually is there, physically there, but I shot the background and her together. So after that, I got caught in the rain. I do everything in the studio now.